A lot of people are puzzled by Stonehenge in England.
Now, a new analysis shows that the 6-ton iconic altar stone at the heart of Stonehenge.
They stand in silence, colossal stones rising from the mist as if frozen mid-thought, remembering something the world has long forgotten. For 5,000 years, these giants have faced the sky, watching stars shift, empires fall, and humanity forget.
The people who are responsible for Stonehenge, for erecting it, are nowhere to be seen, and this is a puzzling.
No one knows who truly built them, or why. Some say it was a temple, others a celestial calendar. Some even call it a doorway to another realm. But what if Stonehenge wasn't built to mark time? What if it was time itself? A living clock, tuned to the heartbeat of the earth, built by people who somehow understood its hidden rhythm. And now, beneath centuries of soil and myth, new evidence is revealing how, and maybe even why, it was built. But the deeper scientists dig, the stranger it becomes. Because Stonehenge may not just be ancient. It may be a message from a civilization that wanted us to remember. This is the mystery of Stonehenge. The story begins not with a monument, but with a single rock. A small, unremarkable boulder discovered more than a century ago and quietly forgotten in a museum drawer. For decades, it gathered dust, its story untold. Until recently, when scientists examined it again under modern microscopes and realized what they were holding. The patterns, the minerals, the microscopic fingerprints all pointed to one shocking truth. This stone didn't come from Salisbury Plain. It came from Wales, over 200 kilometers away. But here's where it gets even stranger. It wasn't carried by glaciers, as once believed. It was moved by human hands. Think about that. Thousands of years ago, before the wheel, before metal tools, before cities, people somehow hauled stones weighing up to 4 tons across rivers, forests, and mountains. Some theories suggest they floated them on rafts down ancient waterways. Others say they dragged them over frozen ground in winter, sliding across ice like primitive engineers. However they did it, one thing is clear. Stonehenge was not built by accident. It was built by intention. Every stone, every angle, every shadow that falls at dawn, all of it placed with purpose. These weren't primitive builders stumbling through prehistory. They were scientists, astronomers, mathematicians, builders who may have understood the sky far better than we do today. And as we begin to trace their steps, one question grows louder. What could possibly drive an ancient people to such impossible effort? What truth were they trying to carve into the earth itself? Long before science tried to explain Stonehenge, stories did. To the people who came after its builders, these stones were already ancient, older than memory, older than history. And so they filled the silence with legend. One tale spoke of giants who once roamed the earth, beings of immense strength who carried the stones from distant mountains. Another told of the wizard Merlin, who used his magic to move the stones through the air, plucking them from Ireland and setting them here, in perfect harmony with the stars. Others whispered of gods, of fallen angels, even of travelers from beyond the skies. Each story different, yet all carrying the same message. Stonehenge was never ordinary. Even to those who didn't understand it, the monument felt alive, sacred, powerful, untouchable. And maybe that was the point. Myths are not lies. They are echoes, the human attempt to translate awe into meaning. Perhaps when ancient people spoke of giants, they were remembering the giants of human will, the people who defied nature and time to build something that would outlive them. Perhaps when they spoke of Merlin, they were remembering wisdom, knowledge so advanced it looked like magic. Because to those who came later, the science of the ancients must have seemed supernatural. And maybe it was. Maybe the builders of Stonehenge knew something we still don't, about energy, vibration, or the unseen connection between the heavens and the earth. Not gods, not aliens, but people reaching for something divine. This part ties everything together, the science, the spirituality, and the rhythm of life and death. It should feel sacred and eternal, like standing at Stonehenge under moonlight. When the sun sets and darkness returns to Salisbury Plain, the stones change. Under moonlight, their silence feels deeper, almost alive. The same monument that tracks the rising sun also follows the moon's slow, ghostly dance across the sky. For centuries, people thought Stonehenge was only solar, but recent discoveries have revealed something more. The blue stones, arranged in subtle arcs, align with the lunar standstill, a rare moment that happens only once every 18.6 years, when the moon reaches its highest and lowest points on the horizon. The builders knew this. They tracked it. They built for it. To them, the moon was not just light in the darkness. It was the keeper of time beyond time. While the sun marked the day, the moon ruled over the mysteries of night, birth, death, and rebirth. Archaeologists now believe Stonehenge was part of a greater landscape, connected to nearby sites like Durrington Walls, where people once feasted and celebrated life, and to Woodhenge, made of timber, symbolizing the realm of the living. Stonehenge, built of stone, may have represented the realm of the dead, eternal, unchanging, silent. The living would journey there in ritual processions, carrying torches through the night, from the world of breath to the world of memory. To them, death was not an end, it was a return. And so Stonehenge became more than a monument. It was a bridge between life and eternity, between the moon's shadow and the sun's fire. A reminder that all things move in circles: light, time, life itself. And maybe that's the message these stones still whisper to us every time the moon rises over their ancient faces. 5,000 years ago, someone, or perhaps many someones, looked up at the same sky we see today and decided to leave behind a message in stone. We still don't know their names, we don't know their language, but we know this: they understood something that we've almost forgotten, that time is not just what passes, it's what connects. Every alignment, every shadow, every sunrise caught between those pillars was a conversation between earth and sky, between humanity and the infinite. And as our world races forward, building higher, burning brighter, forgetting faster, Stonehenge still waits, not as a ruin, but as a reminder that once, long ago, humans built not for profit or power, but for meaning. They carved time into stone. They built a monument to memory. And if we listen, really listen, maybe we'll realize what they were trying to tell us, that civilizations rise and fall, but the earth endures, that silence speaks when we remember how to hear it, and that sometimes the oldest structures in the world aren't asking us to look back, but to look deeper. Because Stonehenge isn't just a mystery to solve. It's a mirror showing us what humanity once was and what it could still become.